The funeral ended before my mind could accept that my husband was actually gone. People hugged me, spoke in soft voices, and promised that time would help. I nodded politely, barely hearing anything. Grief had wrapped everything in a strange fog. When I left the cemetery, I carried two things with me: the black coat on my shoulders and a thick envelope from the attorney who had read my husband's will. Inside were documents that still didn't feel real. My husband had left me $8.5 million and 6 lofts in Manhattan, numbers that large felt abstract, almost fictional. My mind kept rejecting them the same way it rejected the idea that he was never coming home. Instead of driving back to my empty house, I went to my parents' place. It wasn't planned. Grief simply pushed me toward the place that once felt safe. Their house looked exactly the same. My father's truck in the driveway, the porch light on, the same plants my mother had kept alive for years. For a moment, standing at the door, I felt something close to relief. Maybe I just needed to sit at the kitchen table and hear my mother say everything would be okay. I stepped inside quietly. The television murmured in the living room, but no one was there. Voices drifted from the kitchen, my parents and my sister. I was about to walk in when I heard my sister say something that made me stop. 8 million, right? My heart tightened. My mother answered, lowering her voice slightly. 8.5. I froze in the hallway. I hadn't told them anything yet. The will had been read less than 2 hours earlier. My father spoke next. Well, that's more than enough to make sure she doesn't make any bad decisions. My sister laughed softly. She won't even know what to do with it. 6 Manhattan properties. She's barely handled a mortgage. The envelope in my hand suddenly felt heavier. My mother sighed. She'll be fragile right now. That's when people listen to family. Exactly, my father said calmly. We'll guide things. Set up trusts. Organize the properties. Make sure the money stays protected. Another short pause. Then my sister added casually, honestly, one of those lofts would solve my housing problem immediately. My chest tightened, but I stayed silent. Then my father said something that made the moment colder. Her husband actually called me months ago while he was working on the will. My sister sounded surprised. Why? He said the money was meant for her independence. Asked me to make sure nobody pressured her. My mother gave a quiet laugh. He was sweet, but naive. My father chuckled. He thought once the money appeared, everyone would respect boundaries. Standing in the hallway, something inside me shifted. My husband had seen this coming, and my parents had simply waited. I stepped into the kitchen. 3 faces turned toward me. Surprise flashed across them before quickly turning into concern. "Oh, sweetheart," my mother said, standing up. "How was the service?" No one mentioned the conversation I had just heard. "It was quiet," I said. I placed the envelope on the table. "There's something I need to tell you." They waited as I slid the will across the table. My father read it quickly, his eyebrows rising. "That's a lot to manage," he said carefully. "Real estate like this requires planning. You shouldn't handle it alone," my mother added. My sister leaned forward. "Dad could manage things for a while. Just until everything settles." I let them finish. Then I placed another document beside the will. This came from the attorney. My father read the page slowly this time. Halfway through, his expression changed. "What does it say?" my sister asked. He cleared his throat. "There's an oversight clause." Silence filled the room. If any extended family attempts to influence financial decisions within the first year. He continued, "An external fiduciary firm automatically takes control of the estate." I nodded. "The lawyer scheduled a meeting tomorrow morning. Without us?" my mother asked. "Yes." The room grew very quiet. No one argued. No one raised their voice. but the confidence that had filled the room earlier was gone. I finished my tea and stood up a few minutes later. My father walked me to the door. "You know we're here if you need advice," he said. "I know," I replied. That night, I slept alone in one of the Manhattan lofts. The grief of losing my husband was still there. But for the first time since the funeral, I also felt something else: space. For the first time in my life, the direction of my future wasn't being quietly decided by someone else.